everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just Another Masshole Podcast with me, Kyle Raymond, just another masshole. So how's everybody's day? It's Friday, and if you can't tell, I put these podcasts out when I feel like it. Everybody survived the government shutdown? Everybody's okay? Yeah, everything's fine, see? Didn't affect your life one bit, did it? Everybody losing their shit. It didn't affect your life one bit. Well, the military wasn't getting paid, and, you know, I understand that, but most normal people, it doesn't affect them at all. I even got fucking mail, okay? The mailman we're delivering. Oh, man. Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why everybody freaked out. It happens under every president. Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush 1, Reagan. How many more presidents back? They always shut down the government. And everybody on the internet, and it's like, fucking Democrats shut down the government. You know, the House, they have, Republicans have control of the House, the Senate. They have a Republican president, and they have 38 governorships. If anybody's fucking this country up right now, it's them. They're in control. If every Democrat voted to shut down the government, still they would lose unless a bunch of Republicans voted. I don't even want to look up the numbers, but they have control of the House, which means they have more than 50 or 60%. You know, it's like they have to be. They're making all the decisions right now. Toilet. Fuck, man. So I don't know what else is going on with everybody out there. I did get a question. I got a question from somebody on the internets, and they asked me if marshmallows have feelings. Do marshmallows have feelings? I don't know if they have feelings, but I do know that they have lots of sugar. Marshmallows are dangerous. They're so delicious. And, yeah, I mean, even if they did have feelings, would you care? I mean, cows have feelings, but we still eat cheeseburgers. So I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? I mean, I don't think we'd care if marshmallows had feelings. I mean, there's like fucking 70 of them in a bag. I mean, you know, what? All right, I'll just have just one. Half the bag. Just one half. It's only half. The other half can survive. We'll let them go free. We'll let half the bag go free, and we're going to take the other half and skewer them on sticks and then burn them on fires. You know, I do find it to be cruelty against marshmallows when somebody burns it until it's black on the outside. All right? You can't burn. That's not caramelized. It's got to be golden brown, dark brown. Black, that's burnt. That's burnt. You burnt the caramel. It's no longer caramelized. It's just burnt. It's disgusting. Does that answer suffice whether or not marshmallows have feelings? Oh, man. So my girlfriend was mad at me the other day because I spent 7 hours working on a website, which I will put the link on here. I made a Kyle Raymond comedy webpage. And, yeah, I made a Kyle Raymond comedy webpage, and it has links to all my podcasts and upcoming shows and contact information. And, you know, please feel free to go check it out. Tell me if you see... if I'm missing anything, or if you want me to add something, or if I made a fucking typo because I'm a terrible writer. What the hell else is... So I got the Prius running, by the way. The Prius is running just fine, but the battery is complete garbage. The battery will not hold a charge. But the car still runs, and it gets 38 miles to the gallon without the battery. 38 miles to the gallon. Even without the battery, it's still better than most cars. It's on gas. It's better on gas than most cars. You know, that's one thing about Priuses. Prius owners will, if you ask them, what do you like about you like that Prius? What do you think about it? And they'll immediately go, it has great gas mileage. You will never hear a Prius owner say, this car handles great. It's got great pickup. The radio is awesome. The seats are comfortable. There's plenty of room in the back seat, plenty of headroom. You're never going to hear any of those things because none of them are true. The only thing that car is good for is it gets great gas mileage and has a longevity like most Toyotas of 300. You could put 300,000 miles on one of those fucking things as long as you replace the batteries and shit. But it's not comfortable. It's not fast. It's an awful, awful, awful car. I guess it's not. It's not awful. It's not awful. It depends on what you're looking for. Okay, it's great on fucking gas. It'd be great in traffic. You'd almost never use gas because you'd be doing less than 15 miles an hour. You'd always be on electric. So you would never use gas almost. I don't know where I was going with that. Just, the Prius runs everybody. I'm okay. So what else is going on? I saw a clip of semi-understandable stuff from Charles Manson. And it's like video clips like that are not what you ever saw back then. They would show you him going, losing his fucking mind and shit and getting up and pop lock dancing and shit like a maniac. But they never showed you the videos where he laid down the law on how fucked up our government is. And he actually made sense where you're like, I actually agree with this guy. I agree with the guy who convinced Sharon Tate to murder people to murder Sharon Tate. He convinced 4 people to go out and murder people. He didn't do anything. Because people are stupid and listen to him? People are too stupid to listen to a crazy person, so he went to jail. They're just saying. People are dumb. He wasn't. He was so smart, he convinced a bunch of dumb people to commit murder. And that's what his crime was. And then he died in jail because, they thought he was crazy. And he might have been. But, genius and crazy go hand in hand. Just saying. Most of the really, 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 really smart people are usually really, 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 really fucking crazy. Albert Einstein slept in 20-minute intervals, okay? Dude probably was not right in his head. Never combed his fucking hair. Look at him. But he was really smart. But yeah, I would suggest I'm going to put the link up in here. You got to check out this video of clips of Charles Manson talking and making sense. It's actually quite interesting. Whoa, Charles Manson said things that weren't crazy? Whoa. Of course he did. Probably why they locked him away and made sure nobody talked to him. Things tend to have a different perspective when you look at them 40 years, 50 years later. Just saying. I'll give you a good example. Fucking conservative people putting up the video of Bill Clinton talking bad about immigrants coming to this country. And it's like, how come Clinton could say this back then, but Trump is an asshole for saying it now? Well, because it's 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, people were fucking dumb. 40 years ago, there was a thing that the government did, and it was called Operation Wetback. They literally put a racist fucking term in the name of the operation for kicking Mexicans out of this country. So, back then that was acceptable. And then when Clinton came along, he was a little more polite about it. And then everybody stopped being assholes about it. And then we get Trump, who brings us right back to the way it was 40 fucking years ago. I don't want to go back to the Reagan era. I was born during that era, and I go look at history and what actually happened. And anybody who still fucking thinks that guy's a saint can go fuck themselves. Reagan was a huge piece of shit, all right? He was a huge piece of shit. He had so many fucking people in his government that were either convicted or resigned because they were going to be convicted. They were indicted. Go look it up. Go look at how many fucking people were corrupt and indicted underneath his government. Trump is bringing back that shit. Bunch of fucking corrupt assholes. And they will most likely, some of them will get their comeuppance, but people that deserve to get fucked will not. I bet you Trump will be the next Reagan. People will idolize him. And yet, if you go look at history, how fucked up this country is right now because of him. Around the world, how much people hate us more now than they did when Bush was president, Bush 2, I should say. It's just history will show the truth, I would hope. But history is usually written by the winners, so I have no hope in that. I think that's true for anything. I mean, we still are celebrating Columbus Day, but if you've ever heard any experts from Christopher Columbus's journals and how evil and fucking racist he was, it would blow your mind. Some of the horrible shit he said about people and some of the horrible things he did. I don't know where I was going with that. I know he found this country and everything, but I don't know. I'm just saying. He was an evil, evil man. Yep, that's my ADD brain. I just went on such a tangent. I completely lost what I was talking about. Trump sucks. That's kind of where I was going. I mean, it's fairly obvious if you know me. That's how I feel. I want to give the guy a chance, but anybody from anywhere up north, that's what I mean. People in the Midwest don't know how much of a piece of shit he is, but people who dealt with him in New York, Atlantic City, New Jersey, they all know he's a corrupt, fucking lying piece of shit. All right? Anything you want to build in Atlantic City or New York, guess what you had to do? You probably had to bribe the mob in order to get a fucking dumpster. So him paying porn stars to shut their mouth doesn't upset me as much as this fucking dude is literally a corrupt businessman. All right? He is a terrible, terrible, terrible human being. And I don't know. I have no hope. I got no hope. Yeah, incoherent ramblings of Kyle Raymond. Brought to you by Bankers Club Vodka. When you don't have a lot of money and you want to get drunk, get a handle of Bankers Club Vodka. It's delicious. So I don't know. I guess that's all I got to say to you folks today. Remember, tomorrow will be the new episode of Don't Watch This Podcast. We'll be recording tomorrow. It should be up for you and your enjoyment by Monday. Don't forget to check out my new webpage with all the links to all these podcasts and any upcoming dates that I got. Don't forget I have an open mic at Howl Gallery Tuesday on January 30th. Hopefully that's going to be a monthly recurring thing, last Tuesday of every month. I have other events I told you I'd get to you on those. And I think that's it, everybody. Please don't forget to write me in some emails or comments or anything on Facebook or YouTube, or just straight up email me. Just ask me a question. Tell me to go fuck myself. I don't care. Just give me a response out there, everybody. All right? And have a good night. Have a good weekend. And don't forget to go fuck yourselves.